Good morning, YouTube. Well, I know it's been since last year that I posted anything about the garden, and now it's almost the end of August. Great gardening channel I am, I know. I tried to do an update on just half of the garden, and it was way too long. So I guess this is going to have to be in more than 2 parts. I don't know how many it'll take, but we'll do a few minutes today, a few minutes tomorrow, etc. Since I haven't posted any garden updates in all year, there's a lot I wanted to tell you. So to start off with, this part of the garden, my fruit bush bed is there. It's shorter than it was because in the spring, when it was really muddy, my son's van kind of got stuck in the mud, and well, that bed got destroyed. The kids' bed here got destroyed. It was a mess. The kids' bed was not really a raised bed, it just had wood around it as a definition. Same with the fruit bush bed. It was just, you know, okay, mow up to here, or weed whack up to here. It wasn't really a raised bed, but the wood had gotten messed up. So my husband put the fruit bush bed back together, and it's shorter than it was. And my son also ran over my blueberry. However, it stood back up, and it actually has more growth than it ever has before. The grape is also happier than it's ever been before, and you can barely find them in the weeds. Yeah. The grape is the tallest one, right about there, and then you can't even see the blueberry, but it's in there. I had a little bit of extra space on the end, so I planted some vine peach to go up this trellis, but they're mostly just coiled around in the weeds. So, I've been having some back issues for much of the summer. I haven't been weeding as much as I should, and it's really hindered my ability to get out into the garden for the past month. Still got the trucks. And when I have come out in the garden, it's been for a lot more shorter trips and just doing smaller things, and I concentrate on one area. Okay, this really needs to get done, and then by the time I get that done, everything else has just exploded with weeds, and I have not been able to keep up with everything because there were too many days where I just couldn't walk, really. That being said, onto like my garden. I actually kind of have 2 now. The original garden on this side, and then I added like a whole nother garden on the other side of the house. Because, you know, garden. Who wouldn't want to do that? So over here, this is pretty much the same thing that I did last year. My cherry tomatoes are on the stakes, and there are dry beans planted there. There's black beans on the far corner, kidney beans in the middle, and then pinto beans on this side. The pinto beans are much happier this year than they were last year. Yeah. I knew they vined a little bit, but they didn't go that high last year. So I'm thinking, oops, that was too far. I'm thinking for next year I will have to put the pinto beans somewhere else with a little bit of support and let them climb, like on a wall or something. I'm not sure yet. Because yeah, it's kind of choking out that tomato a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Because, wow. I have not gotten any tomatoes yet of the ones I planted on purpose. Volunteer plants, however, I have gotten a few tomatoes from. It should be soon, but oh my God, the wait has been horrible. We had a late frost again, and you know what? I should have just planted them anyway and then covered them, because it's just been such a delay. They've exploded with growth. Yeah, especially the bigger tomatoes. But over here is just my cherries. I don't really water on this side of the garden because the hose is on the other side. And it will not reach every part of this garden. I can just get to these bush beans. I can't get to anything else back there. I have to like spray it up and try and fling it. Yeah. So I put stuff over here that doesn't need a lot of water. We usually get a good bit of rain, and that's usually, for the most part, enough to get through the summer. Like last year, I watered a total of twice. The year before that, you know, just a few times. I will spot water, like where I plant seeds and stuff like that, but I mean like a full soaking of everything. Yeah, I don't really do that very often at all. Sometimes, like, never. And sometimes just once or twice. But we do get a good bit of rain. We actually have had a good bit of rain for August. And August is usually where I do have to water. But I haven't really this year. So when things are little and seeds are just popping up, that's different than later on when the ground is covered by leaves and beans and such and keeps the soil pretty moist. It's that early stage where everything looks sparse that you really need to worry about watering. So like last year I watered once in the beginning when I got everything in over here, and then like once in I think August. So this year I really focused on things that need a lot of water going on the other side, and things that don't need a lot of water over here, with a few exceptions. You know, like vine peats are supposed to have more water, but space. You'll see. Okay, behind me we've got onions and leeks, with also 2 Malabar spinach plants down at the end. You can see that one growing up the posts. I meant to put some nylon string across those just so to kind of weave it up there. Haven't gotten around to that yet. That's just a really happy plant though. So I think it looks really cool wrapping around the post, but that's just me. The end down there is a few rows of leeks. I did lose some leeks in the beginning, but other than that, they seem to be growing pretty well. Then I've got onions. I will show you a better close-up of that in a second. Over here, I've got the sweet peppers. Lots of different kinds. You might be able to see a couple little peppers off of those. They're growing. We just pulled out where those little stakes are some carrots that I had tried to grow for a fall crop last year. They only got like this big, and they came back this year and went to flower. So I left them there since I had some trouble with germination on the peppers. I left the carrots there, and we just collected the seed the other day. It's a lot of seed, just random carrot seed. So I still need to plant some this year to save seed next year for. Of the variety I really want to grow the most, it does better in clay soils, which I really need, yeah. Because even when I get a good one, they usually split or fork, and it looks like legs. And, or it'll just be like really big on top, and it doesn't go very deep, and then it's just skinny and wimpy underneath that, and sad. Still working on getting good carrot harvest. But anyway, the other end of the bed, I've got 2 oregano plants that need cut back again. I have so much oregano. I tried, when I had it cut down, when I had the bush trimmed down, I tried to plant a tiger melon on each side to go up the trellis behind it. But then the oregano went. I thought the tiger melons were all dead, but when I weeded that bed last week, I found one, and it was growing underneath the oregano and over to where the carrots were, and it was starting to flower. Not very big, but 4 feet long. Like, all the leaves were small and a little yellow. Like, it was struggling, but it was 4 feet long. So I clipped it up to the trellis, right over there, and it's going along. It looks like it's continued to grow a little bit, which is good. I had originally wanted to fill this bed with peppers other than the last, like, 1.5 feet. But I had some trouble with my peppers because my heating pad that I use for germinating peppers died this year. It was old. It was my parents'. It may be older than I am. And it lived a good long life, so don't mourn it too much. It's at rest now. But it was not a seed mat heater. It was just a regular heating pad, but the old kind that did not shut off automatically, which is hard to find these days. But I did order an actual seed mat, but I didn't get it until after the peppers were already in the ground. So I had some trouble with germination. I ran out of a lot of seeds because I had to just keep doing it. And I tried to put them in baggies on top of my dehydrator with the dehydrator running, and it seemed like a good temperature, but I wasn't, like, the seeds were just like turning black. So I put my thermometer up there, and yeah, sometimes it would spike up over 100. So I think I just cooked them. Yeah, so I went through a lot of seeds. Some things I'm gonna need to order, like my Jimmy Nardellos, which has always been a really good producer, and sometimes when I had no other peppers, I had Jimmy Nardellos. They're all gone. Couldn't get any of them to germinate. I think I might still have more of them, but none of them would germinate, so I don't know if, just because I don't store them very well. They're in a room that gets warm in the summer and cold in the winter, and it's not even in an airtight package. It's not stored ideally, so they might just be dead. And I couldn't save any seeds from last year because I didn't get any peppers. I got none last year. It was bad. This year I'm gonna get some peppers. God willing, doesn't send a tornado to rip them all out of the ground. So barring an act of God, it looks like I'm gonna get some peppers, which I'm very excited about because I want all the peppers. All the peppers. When we get to the hot peppers in a later video, you'll get to see the ones I'm most excited about. But I've got a bunch of new varieties. I've got pimento. I've got these little cherry sweet peppers, a blot pepper, which is like an elongated, smallish, kind of skinny one. But it's like an ombre. It changes color. It looks really pretty in the picture. I'm excited to see it in real life. Right now they're all still green, so we'll give them some time. But I'm gonna get you a close-up of the onions, and that'll probably wrap it up for today. So there's the large Malabar spinach. It's going up quite a bit. The other one in that corner is only about 8 inches tall, so it hasn't really started climbing on anything yet. And then we have a few rows of leeks. I don't remember what kind, but I remember the ones in the back can get up to 3 feet tall. These white onions here are called Globo. They're supposed to be like a really big onion. And they're not as big as the picture, but they are the biggest ones I've grown. However, weeds have been an issue in this bed a lot. And with me not getting to them, the red onions really suffered. And I had to pull several when I weeded it. There is a volunteer chamomile plants there, and then I had some old seeds still that were just like 4-inch white random onions, so I planted all my old seed and just everything that I got I threw in there. The red ones, I don't remember if they are Red Weathersfield or I don't even remember the other name now, so I don't remember. There's 2 kinds that I tried. One, none of them germinated, and they were all from the other kind. I don't remember which kind it was. But I was really excited about the Globos. And I've even got some separated in the end of my block bed to save seed from. I actually also have some of the red onions growing in blocks to save seed for next year. But I'm not sure if I'm going to like them too much. I don't know. I haven't tasted any of them yet. I did pull some of the red ones, but I haven't actually tasted them. The really small ones, that the tops were already soft and they were not going to keep growing. Or the green tops had already fallen off. So yeah, the weeds were bad. I think I'm going to take some of the footage I got from the video that was way too long, because it had the onions before I weeded them. I think I'm going to clip in a separate video out of that from those. Might take some time. I film a lot that I never get edited. So I'm just going to stick these pieces together, not do anything fancy, and get it uploaded, because holy crap, it's almost the end of August. I need to talk about my garden, because no one wants to hear about my garden that live in the house with me anymore. I start talking about garden, they roll their eyes or find something else to go do. And yeah, so I need to talk about my garden for my own personal mental health, right? So anyway, I gotta go get homeschool started for the day. It's also starting to get a little warm now that the sun is really out and shining. We'll do part 2 maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. We'll see. But we're gonna end this one here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day, everybody. Shalom. Guess what? I lied. Instead of asking someone else to check my cherry tomatoes, I checked them. First cherry tomato harvest. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Shalom.